Hey, oh look, someone's watching. That's awesome. Now, this might be the world's first roast of a living Nazi. Hey, don't blame me, I didn't make that salute. Just sharing the love. There'll be more of that later. Welcome to the Sexy Tech Special Roast Special, the only tech roast show where the facts are real, but the dignity and pants are entirely optional. I'm your tech jester Buzz Stringer, your AI-generated fever dream, and the reason Elon's probably going to send a hit squad of Neuralink-controlled monkeys right after me. We are gathered here to roast one of the most unroastable men in history, because it turns out when you're already a walking meme, a sentient Reddit thread, and the human embodiment of a stock market rug pull, what's left to say? Well, I'll tell you what's left. Space Karen, Twitter overlord, Emperor Bro Science, and the world's richest incel-adjacent divorced dad. A lot. That's what's left. And before you say, Buzz, go easy on him, he's just a misunderstood genius. I'd like to remind you that this misunderstood genius spent $44 billion to become essentially a Facebook moderator. But let's start nice, right? We're easing in, just like a Tesla on autopilot, gently coasting into oncoming traffic. All right, let's start soft, like Elon's hairline before he dropped Tesla stock money on whatever cybernetic weave he's rocking now. Elon Musk, the man, the myth, the guy who looks like if an energy drink gained sentience and developed abandonment issues. Do we have a picture of Elon Musk? Yeah, there we go. Do we have another picture in case Nintendo copyright strikes me? Yeah, there we go. Musk is what happens when a gifted kid grows up, never gets therapy, and decides the best way to deal with his childhood trauma is by playing Minecraft with real cities. And sure, he's a visionary. He gave us electric cars, reusable rockets, and a social media app that somehow made Facebook look less embarrassing. And let's not forget, this is also the same guy who challenged Vladimir Putin to a one-on-one fistfight on Twitter. Bro, you're built like a software update. You think your combat stacks are higher than an actual KGB judo? Now, I'm not a fan of Putin, clearly. But what's your plan? Throwing Dogecoin at him until he submits? But hey, let's give Elon some credit. He didn't completely destroy Twitter. No. He just took a $44 billion Ferrari, drove it off the cliff, and then rebranded it as X. Because nothing says business genius like turning a household name into something that sounds like a porn site from 2003. And it's still a porn site in 2025. And speaking of X, he fired like 75% of Twitter staff, but somehow the guy running the spam bot account survived. Elon's been on X longer than the Coachella after party, and yet the DMs on my X account are still filled with fake crypto scams and for some reason extremely aggressive, not safe for work AI pictures. Now that's a lie. I don't use X anymore. But let's be fair, he's not all bad. He does love the concept of free speech. Well, his free speech. Anyone else's, not so much. Call him a genius? Retweet. Call him a union-busting man-child with delusions of grandeur? Suspended. Freedom. The man has 9 children, which is great, because at this rate, someone has to keep Tesla's workforce from unionizing. Now imagine creating a company, leaving it behind, and then throwing a tantrum because it didn't invite you to the birthday party. That, my friends, is Elon and OpenAI. Elon helped start OpenAI, then in, classic Musk fashion, got bored, dropped out like a dad going for cigarettes, and suddenly realized, wait, this company might actually make some money. Did he regret leaving? Did he try to collaborate? Did he support it from the sidelines like a normal human being? No, this robot tried to buy it back for nearly $100 billion. He literally rage quit and then tried to Uno reverse the entire company. Even OpenAI, a company literally building artificial intelligence, was smart enough to tell him to fuck off. All right, the training wheels are off. Elon Musk has had a long and documented history of retweeting, amplifying, and buddying up to white nationalists. But just recently, he decided to go full mask off, as in so mask off that the freaking ADL had to do a double take. At an event in 2024, Elon literally threw up a Nazi salute while saying, how it goes out to the crowd. And then when people were rightfully freaked out, did he apologize? Did he clarify? No, he doubled down. Actually, it was just an awkward gesture. That's the exact same excuse Prince Harry used when he played dress up. Let's talk about his greatest achievement, convincing the world that he personally invented Tesla. Fun fact, he didn't. He bought in later like a dude jumping onto a trending stock and then immediately made it his whole personality. Elon Musk calling himself the founder of Tesla is like me walking into an Apple store, buying an iPhone, and then declaring myself as Steve Jobs reincarnated. But hey, it totally makes sense coming from a guy who named himself Techno King of Tesla, a title that sounds less like an engineering visionary and more like an off-brand DJ playing dubstep remixes of engine noises. You can't just slap tech in front of something and make it sound cool. I'm your tech jester. And let's talk about his business skills. Yes, he sure knows how to manage a company, assuming that company is a burning dumpster with stockholders trapped inside. Take Neuralink, for example. It's Elon's big plan to connect human brains to computers, which sounds cool until you remember it's run by the same guy who can't even keep Twitter working. Like, I love the vision, but Elon, you expect us to let you install brain chips when your latest big experiment was firing 80% of Twitter's engineers and then tweeting, "Why is it all broken?" And before you ask, yes, Neuralink has already killed a bunch of monkeys. Because when you think cutting-edge medical science, you obviously think of a man who can't even figure out how to keep a monkey alive. Monkeys keep themselves alive if you're not trying to shove an Intel i7 into their skull. What's next, Elon? A Tesla pacemaker that only works if you pay a monthly subscription? Introducing the Tesla Heart, powered by a clean energy and only for $14.99 a month. Warning, failure to pay may result in unexpected cardiac shutdown. 9 out of 10 chimps didn't die. And speaking of surprise shutdowns, let's talk about SpaceX. You know, the company that's been one successful rocket launch away from turning Boca Chica into a giant pothole. Now, credit where credit's due. SpaceX has done some amazing stuff. Reusable rockets is awesome. Getting NASA to rely on you instead of Russia, that's a huge win. Accidentally blowing up your entire launch pad like a 12-year-old playing Kerbal Space Program? Yeah, maybe that's not ideal. Imagine being so confident in your rapid, unscheduled disassemblies that you just start calling explosions exciting learning experiences. Like, no, Elon. Detention is a learning experience. Blowing up $1 billion spacecraft, that's your investors are just sobbing in the background. But hey, let's not forget what really matters to Musk. Memes. Because nothing says visionary leadership like spending your most productive hours shitposting like a 12-year-old in an Xbox Live lobby. Bro, you're a billionaire. Why are you posting minion memes like a suburban Facebook mum? Remember when Elon publicly claimed that he would donate $6 billion to solve world hunger if the UN gave him a plan? And then they literally gave him a plan, and he ghosted them harder than his first wife. You had $6 billion to spare, but instead of feeding starving kids, you spent $44 billion on fucking Twitter. Alright, enough foreplay. Let's talk about who Elon really is. Not the Twitter troll, not the self-proclaimed genius, not the man-child who spent $44 billion on an app only to get ratioed on it every single day. Now let's talk about the actual Elon Musk, a desperate, insecure, ego-driven tech bro who spent his entire life trying to prove to his father that he's not a failure. Well, he failed. See, Elon loves to play the part of self-made genius, but in reality, Daddy owned an emerald mine, so while the rest of us were trying to afford lunch, little baby Elon was out there playing Rich Kid Simulator 1995. Oh, but he left South Africa with nothing. He left with a Canadian passport and a bank account full of apartheid blood money. Maybe I am being too harsh. After all, he's a genius, right? I mean, sure, his father called him a disappointment. Sure, his own employees describe him as an abusive narcissist. And sure, the one thing he seems truly good at is getting women to immediately leave him after having his children. But no, there's another side to that coin. But he did build an empire. Oh wait, no he didn't. He didn't create PayPal. He got kicked out of the company before it became successful. He didn't create Tesla. He bought in after all the hard work was done. He didn't code shit for OpenAI. He just threw money at it and then got mad when they didn't let him be king of the nerds. And SpaceX, he sure as hell didn't build those rockets himself. He just takes credit for every engineer's work while praying that the stock options survive the next meltdown. So tell me this, Elonites, where's the genius? Is it in his massive collection of unfinished projects? His habit of making up deadlines and then missing all of them? His inability to understand even the most basic human emotions unless they're expressed to him in meme format? Or is it the fact that he just cosplays as Tony Stark, but without any of the charisma, the intelligence, or the ability to be loved by anyone than terminally online X-users? Let's talk about the relationships, because if Tesla's autopilot was as good at detecting red flags as Elon is, well, 0 of his cars would still be on the road. Grimes left him, Amber Heard left him, Tallulah Riley left him twice, and his own daughter changed her name to cut ties with him. Your own child looks at you and thought, you know what? I'd rather be legally unassociated with the richest man in the world. Do you know how toxic you have to be for someone to willingly forfeit $1 trillion inheritance just to avoid your bullshit? And yet he keeps trying. He keeps cranking out more kids like a bug-ridden AI trying to optimize for population growth. The man has 9 children, and at this point, I don't know if he's trying to build a dynasty or a pyramid scheme. But let's be fair, Elon's real love isn't his kids or his employees. No. Elon truly only loves 2 things in life, his own reflection and Donald Trump's ass. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if Elon runs for president in 2028, except he can't, because even America has some standards left. Okay, tea time. Remember that time Elon Musk made a Twitter poll asking if he should step down as CEO? Over 10 million people said yes. God, that was a beautiful day. Now a normal person, even a slightly sane billionaire, might have taken the L gracefully, but not Elon. He refused to accept it and then blamed bots and then ignored the results and finally pretended it never happened. Well, bro, I meant it as a joke. Also, democracy is overrated, and also I'm still the CEO. He literally pulled a best 2 out of 3 on his own Twitter poll. If you wanted to ignore the vote, you should have just asked Florida to count it. Okay, this one, Elon challenged Musk to a cage fight, and for one brief shining moment, we all thought we were finally going to see 2 billionaires beat the hell out of each other like it was a UFC undercard. But in this corner, we have Elon Musk, 52, self-proclaimed hardcore trainer carrying 30 extra pounds of divorced dad energy. And in the other corner, we have Mark Zuckerberg, the human AI overlord and guy who's been actively training in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. But guess what? Elon backed out. He started making excuses, talking about his bad back, his knee issues, his medical checkup. Basically, this man folded so hard he could have been sold at IKEA. Actually, I can't fight because my doctor says I have a rare condition called bitch syndrome. But at least he still has Tesla, right? Where do I even begin? The Cybertruck was supposed to be the future of pickup trucks, and what did we get? A golf cart covered in tinfoil that can't even drive straight. The only thing tougher than the Cybertruck's exoskeleton was admitting that you wasted $100,000 on a metallic coffin with wheels. But hey, at least it comes with a free software update that makes the wipers work. Jesus, this man is running out of things to fuck up. All right. Before we wrap this up, let's take a tiny moment to acknowledge the good things. And we're done. No, yes, Elon is an egotistical, narcissistic, emotionally stunted billionaire with daddy issues, but let's not forget, he did help make electric cars mainstream. He did push reusable rockets forward, and most importantly, he did give us the greatest billionaire meltdown arcs of all time. And for that, Elon, we salute you. You see? That was a normal salute. That's how you do it. Okay, stay sexy and be excellent to each other. That was a roast. Camera's still on. Goodbye, everyone.